a couple of levels in lift maybe at the time. And the Morana, it felt like they found the Morana every single time. That was the hero they don't want to run into as well, right?
Yeah, and you talked about that early in the game, going back to that Pounce thing, was, he went first maxing into Essence Shift instead of anything else. Like, he got that third point, and then all of a sudden he got the fourth point, you're like, he's maxing Essence Shift. He went like 1-1-4-1, or something like that, and it just seemed weird that he was all in on Essence Shift to start that game.
I don't mind 2 points, I don't mind 3 points, but I think 4 just slows your game down a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And they definitely felt it there.
There was a comment you made where it was just like, the Sark has only got 2 kills 20-something minutes into the game. He hasn't, like, it was when they were sieging the tier 2 or something like that, or attempting to siege the tier 2. Like, the Sark wasn't as active as I really thought he was going to be. He just kind of was there, for lack of a better phrase. He didn't really have a presence, and it was similar to what I said about FY. Like, he just didn't have a presence when, you see Sarks all the time go defusal and start to move around the map. And is that something that maybe came from the build? I mean, Somnus went drummed BKB. He never, do you think he could have gone to that defusal and fought more?
I kind of get why he went for Drums BKB, because he wants to hit the timing at the same time as his Enigma, where they both get BKB at the same time. And Drums is a cheap damage and stat item, right? And it feels okay on Slark. It's all about the BKB timings that game, but they just came too slow because, the Slark did try and make things happen by moving across the map. He just didn't get anything. So a lot of his time was wasted. I think the Ember was the one that kind of got picked off, though, a lot, which slowed the tempo of the game down for LGD, because they lacked any real damage, because the Ember wasn't really that farmed. Chalice fell off a cliff real quickly in terms of his net worth, and I think that was the thing that slowed the game down enough for RNG to kind of just find their way back into it again. LGD weren't really sure if they could play the game without Chalice in terms of what he could bring to the fights as the Ember.
I'm just wondering, what's going to happen here with LGD coming into this game. They've got to go a completely different route. They still banned the Enigma. Like, it played well enough in the early game where it gets a respect ban, and an Enigma isn't really something that you see get banned out in the first phase all too often. It leaves the Timbersaw available, something that's been first banned quite a bit. They also respect banned the Naga, too, for LGD.
I wonder if they just first pick it here on LGD. Be interesting to see. Because if it has been, like you say, it's been first phase banned every time. So if it's been first phase banned every time, how much do teams value it? Do they value it more than the other first picks that have been coming through? Like the Shadow Demon and the Grim, for example.
Yeah, going Shadow Demon, so it keeps the Timbersaw available. We'll see if anybody picks it up. Grimstroke's still available. I know we talked about how Shadow Demon and Grimstroke have become like 2 of those front, poster boy supports. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it here for RNG. It was Shadow Demon last game for RNG, now Shadow Demon this time for LGD. And they go to the Centaur. This could be paired up with a Rubik. Just go Centaur Rubik. Standard 1-2. Yeah,
a lot of teams like this though at the moment. Just it's such a solid opener. I think it's a good go-to. Especially if it's like a Shadow Demon 5 as well. I think this laning duo kind of really punishes the Shadow Demon hard. Because he's really weak at like the level 1 to level 2 mark. And that's when Centaur and Rubik really start to shine at like that level 2 stage. And Shadow Demon kind of needs like level 3, level 4. Just a solid opener. I'd be surprised if they didn't pick Timber here now, actually.
Yeah, it's wide open. No reason not to pick it. If it doesn't get picked here, it certainly feels like the next ban for Royal Never Give Up. And they go Ember. So they go back to the Ember for LGD. The question now becomes, is that an FY Ember, a Somnus Ember, or even a Chalice Ember?
Interesting. I didn't think they would value the Ember that highly, but it seems something that they're really confident with. Like, they first face it both games. They have the instant lift on Rubik as well, so it's not like they don't have any... It's not like it's a free Ember game, right? But if they do want to set the tempo and play the quick games that they should be on LGD, then Ember is a really good hero for that, and Shadow Demon as well. They have a lot of magic damage between them as well if they lane together. But I would really like to see FY play Ember this game, play it on the 4 instead. I feel like that's where a lot of the Chinese teams have been seeing this success with it.
Ban out the Morphling. So you gotta think like this is a Timber ban, because for the Timber to go completely untouched would be a bit of a shock, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah. But the thing is, maybe like both these teams are so used to it being banned all the time. They're like, oh yeah, Timber's in the pool. It's kind of one of those heroes. But I remember I was saying to you yesterday, I thought this Timber might start to fall off in popularity. I don't think it's as strong as people are making out still at the moment. It's just really annoying to play against. And it's like so strong in the laning stage. And I thought it might start to fall down the pecking order a little bit. But it feels like it was being banned a lot just because it used to be banned a lot before as well.
So let's see what RNG are looking to ban out in this situation.
I considered Bristle, but we hadn't seen it from... I don't think we've seen any of the Chinese teams pick it yet, have we? I don't think we've seen it at Bristle yet.
Chalice plays it every now and then. Was it played? I swear it got played by LGD in game 2 against Aster, and now they go to the Grimstroke. So they both the Grimstroke as well as the Rubik. That was the combination that LGD had in the previous game, but it didn't amount to much. Obviously, that's just because of the way I think LGD had played out that first game.
LGD have to pick Mirana here. Swap support duos. See what happens.
Win the game. Is the Timber still an option here? I mean, it feels like there's enough here from Royal Never Give Up to maybe make it have a hard game.
Yeah, the Soulbind's really annoying. They have a lot of magic damage as well on RNG, but it depends, because if they want to put the Ember as a 4, then they want to pick a hero that goes up with it that doesn't need too much help in the laning stage, or at least like some like I was going to say a range pokey hero, like a Nature's Prophet or something, and I guess Ench kind of like fits that role a little bit. And I love the Ursa pick. I think this is awesome.
Ench into now the Ursa. I'm a bit just surprised because we don't see Ursa that much. We certainly don't see Enchantress that much. That it seems like a hero that we just never see.
The thing is, X-Nova could still put the Ench as a... Sorry, X-Nova could still play the Ench as well, so LGD could play it as a 3 or a 5, and then they could put like the Shadow Demon as a 4, Ench as a 5, have the Ember as a core still. Like their draft's so flexible, but RNG have really strong lanes, like both side lanes, Grimstroke, Ursa, and Centaur Rubik. Like think of the kill potential from these lanes when they hit at like level 2, level 3. It's going to be through the roof. And they have last pick overall in the draft as well. Like I think RNG looks super like well-rounded with this lineup so far. They kind of lack a little bit of tower pressure, but at least they've got the Centaur with the Retaliate. And they have good Roche taking potential now as well. They have good burst damage.
So let's see what they go to with these picks so far from LGD. I would be shocked if maybe they throw the Enchantress in some sort of like mid-safe lane role. I'd love to see just a weird draft come in from LGD.
I think they're most likely going to put it as a 5 and then put the Shadow Demon as the 4. I would assume.
Now, something we've seen get banned quite a bit in that second phase of bans. Something that slips away from a lot of teams that we know that they like. And now they go to the Monkey King. They've got Monkey, Ember, Enchantress, Shadow Demon. So yeah, it kind of looks more and more like it could be the 4 Shadow Demon, 5 Enchantress.
This Monkey King is going to have to play really well. Otherwise, he's going to go from 100 to 0 really quickly in these fights. But they have a lot of damage on RNG at the moment before he gets his BKB. Like, this Ursa is not scared of anything at the moment. The only thing he's scared of is probably the Purge from Shadow Demon. So if he just runs at him every single fight, I think that's where it's going to feel the best.
Could it still be a safe lane Monkey King, mid-Ember, off lane Enchantress, and looking for a 4? Because they banned the Tusk on Royal Never Give Up.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they seem to think it's going to be Enchantress 3, which is fair enough. Enchurch is a bit of a weird one. It kind of goes both ways. So it's going to depend on the support that's with the Ench if they put it as a 3, which is why I think Tusk is a decent ban. Like, because you can Enchanting remove the Ursa's overpower stacks, which is very frustrating to play against as an Ursa. But it goes the other way, that like when Ursa gets some levels, he just instantly kills the Ench because she has like no HP, right?
Would mid Timber work for Will Never Give Up? Maybe I'm just trying too hard to shoehorn this hero into the game, but
I could. I don't think it's amazing though. I don't think it fits with what they wanted. They need like more of a physical DPS kind of hero, I think, in their mid lane. Like some hero that offers physical damage, I bet can also play the tempo game. Ooh, I think they're going to play Dazzle 3.
That could be the deal here.
They have the Shadow Demon as well and you can do this disruption into like the heal bomb combo with the illusions, which is really cool. I think it's a cute little lane combo. They might even put the Shadow Demon core, depending.
Could we see like a safe lane Dazzle, mid Monkey King, off lane Ench, 4 Ember, 5 Shadow Demon?
They could, yeah. I mean, all of their cores lane decently against the center. I think they're probably like leaving their choice open though, because like if they pick some melee hero that does really badly against Dazzle here mid on RNG, they'll probably just put the Dazzle there. Like their lineup's really flexible. They don't even have to commit until they see what RNG pick last. I'd love to see a Shadow Demon Dazzle lane though. Just make the Ursa's life really difficult.
Let's see what Royal Never Give Up are going to do to finish off this draft. I want to see something. I want to see something out there. This draft from OGD, I feel like Chinese region drafts have been kind of similar to each other recently. So now I'm like, give me something different.
Give me Dusa. It's really bad, but I love seeing that hero.
Monkey King, by the way, yesterday played by Vici, or was played by Vici in the last 2 days or so, went 13-1 and 16, destroyed. And Weaver will be played safe lane by Monet. Okay, so X Nova on the 5 Enchantress, mid Somnus Ember, safe lane Chalice on the Monkey King, off lane Dazzle, 4 Shadow Demon. So FY Shadow Demon.
So they're going to put the Ursa mid, I assume.
Yeah.
Like up against the Ember Spirit, which is very Ursa favored. I feel like Ursa just runs over this game. Like, and I really like that they picked some physical damage core last on RNG. Like their Roche taking potential is even better now because they have the Weaver with the Swarm as well. They look like they can just play Dota at such a quick rate. Like, what's the longest cooldown they have to wait for in RNG? It's like Soulbind and Stampede. The whole time, apart from that, they're literally going to be running at you. But if you look at LGD, their lineup's the exact same. Like, we are going to see a really explosive game this time, I hope. Like, last time felt really slow, where both teams were a little bit unsure. Especially LGD, they kind of wanted to wait for their timings, but what timings are there this game? Like, everybody just wants to fight. There's going to be so much scrapping, so much brawling, and this is the Dota I wanted to see.
Yeah, this is what I wanted in the first game, because we came into this Discord call where it was like, LGD, I can't wait. Like, you know, LGD style recently has been pretty high-paced, and now this is the game that I hope we get to see with these lineups. High-paced, back and forth, high energy action. Let's get it. Please. You know, not that I have anything wrong with the last game. I still think it was very disciplined and well played by RNG. That's still Dota I like to see. But if you get the chance to see a lineups like this that look like they're just going to brawl out, I mean, it's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So Rubik has boots and has a ward. Where's the other ward on the Radiant side? Have they not bought it yet? Yeah, they haven't. Never mind. It might mean something now getting this mid lane ward down first for both teams. Like, if Ember can get a decent mid ward down first, they might be able to spot if somebody comes in.
Well, that's what they did last game, right? It was a smoke mid to go and get the ward down over in that area.
I'm really interested to see what Old 11 buys as well on this Dazzle at the start of the game. He's gone Tango's triple branch, but he has 360 gold to spare. Is he just saving his gold for something? I guess he is. Weird.
So let's see. Oh. Centaur going into that Vanguard first. Has himself right now that Ring of Protection. Salve. 2 stacks of Tangos. A lot of regen. You know, not of the time when you used to see the Centaur just go Ring of Tarask first item. Nothing else.
That was so... I hated that patch so much. Because like you would do it on like Sven and Wraith King, and like all these side laners were so good with it. It was horrendous to play against. Spectre as well, that was the worst one. Spectre, Ring of Tarask into Necro 1, because Necro 1 was so cheap as well. And so strong. Oh, interesting.
So the horn sounds, and you know what that means.
The battle begins.
The game has started. Ooh. Interesting.
Okay. What's interesting?
So this sentry here just to make sure if they go to block this camp with a ward.
He's actually started Wand on Dazzle, by the way. He's got it coming out on the Courier. I guess when he's laning against the Weaver, it sounds okay, but not what I expected him to do. So this mid lane matchup, it's definitely Ursa favoured as the game goes on, but in these early levels, Ember should be able to do okay. Like, he can just push the lane out with Flame Guard, and you know, obviously Ursa has no way of removing it, so it can be a difficult lane for him early on. Oh my god, what are these couriers?
How long? Already losing his courier, and so is old 11.
How long has everybody had their own couriers now, where everybody still manages to get them killed like all the time?
I think the pathing on ground couriers stinks. Just personal preference.
Oh, it's just it goes the quickest way.
I know. I think the pathing on it though is pretty bad. I would like there to be a button to have my courier go like straight to tower. Obviously, I can just click my courier and just, you know, click it there. And it's an extra step. I want one less step. I want one button that says send to tower. Send to the tower I'm nearest.
Oh, right, okay. To the tower that you're nearest to.
Yeah. Without having to click my courier and then click it on my tower. One less step. That's all I want.
I really like how maybe he's playing this mid lane, by the way. He's just shoved the lane in towards the Ursa. And so Setsu's struggling to last it under the tower a little bit here. He was before he pulled the aggro away, but... Like, if you're playing this lane as maybe, you don't want the creeps to keep meeting mid all the time, right? Because then Ursa has the creep equilibrium advantage where he can just constantly poke you. Like, you want to be pushing it back and forth constantly, which is exactly what he's doing. So now he can safely farm under his tower.
Flame Guard from Somnus. Both level 3, so goes 2 into the Fury swipes. This is the kind of game where I think we're going to see that 3v3 mid at 5.5 minutes.
Oh, 100%. The only problem I would say with that is that neither of the heroes push the towers that well, so we might not, actually.
You said 100%. You started that sentence with 100%. I feel like you can't take that back.
I feel like it would be 100% just because somebody will end up diving a tower at level 6, so...
I'm trying to see what this Enchantress does.
I don't know if you've ever seen an Inkswell on Weaver before, by the way, but it's very funny.
It is quite ridiculous when he just Shikuchis forward with that extra movement speed.
Radiant structures
Just whoop, right on under you, and all of a sudden you're stunned. This wand has 11 charges on it for Dazzle.
Top lane, top lane.
Not a bad investment, but yeah, over top. Fly win, impetus shot from X Nova, and now September dies as well.
And he might save one of his Jingu strikes here for a Boundless so he can heal up fully. Oh, bot lane as well.
Which Monet dies, and that'll be a trade for FY. And that is a good start for LGD. Exactly what they would like, and it's a bloodbath early because it was 8-1 like 50 minutes into the last game. So
yeah,
we've already got ourselves 4 kills.
Thank God. Like honestly, this Ursa has no mana mid anymore, by the way, and FY's going to fill up his bottle mid for maybe. So Ember going to be feeling really good about that. 4-minute rune about to spawn though, and it is going to be the regen. Ursa would really love that one if he can get away with it.
There it is. Ooh. Uh-oh.
Regeneration.
They just cancelled it off straight away with the poison. That was weird. I mean, he didn't want to wait around and wait for the effect to disappear.
Yeah.
What is happening?
We take a look as Flywin and Old 11 both die. So offlaner is aplenty going down as Super gets the kill on Old 11 and combines that with the help from Monet. I mean, this has just been so far a bloodbath.
If there's a time when the offlaners are both going to die at the same time, it's when both the position fours have moved to the mid lane to try and secure the 4-minute rune.
I know Ursa didn't want to wait around, but I feel like that regen definitely would have been nice to just not have get cancelled immediately.
Yeah, I mean, and another courier dies. Oh my god. Chalice really wants to chase September here, but he doesn't have a point in the tree dance, so it can be a little bit difficult.
I definitely have heard that PETA want to go and tell Valve to put it back to 1 courier per team.
It feels so much better in pubs though, because like everybody can just do their own thing. It was much better in competitive, I think, when there was only 1 courier, but in terms of like the pub scene and things, it's an absolute godsend.
So what's it doing for Old 11 right now? He's going into the Necro book. That's another one of those offlaners that we see get that Necro 1 just to help out that farming, then go back into the boots.
Old 11 Necro 1 player, or bot lane. They've got the ink swell.
Can they get anything out of this as Poison Touch thrown? But here comes September. They get the kill on Old 11. They look over at FY, make it a double for Super. However, over mid, Setsu drops to Somnus, and there was some help there from X-Nova coming towards mid.
Oh, I'm really impressed they managed to kill him, even though he had Enrage up on the Ursa at level 6. But they did, I guess they had the net creep on the Enchantress as well, right? So definitely helps. And there's another courier going to die top, I think. Oh, never mind. They just got on the Centaur instead.
Damage is going to jump up once the Jingu procs. Impetus shot again, Boundless Strike, and Flywin nothing he can do to make his way safely out of that one. And I mean, this is... yeah, this is what we wanted. This is the high-tempo, back-and-forth bloodbath. I know I've said that 3 times already this game, but when you come off a game that had 9 kills going into the 20th minute, this is exactly what I feel like I wanted. As over bottom, Inkswell, it'll pop on the Dazzle, but Monet dies to FY. He charged in trying to get the kill on Old 11, and Old 11 will eventually fall to Super, who is, by the way, dominating. And, I mean... well, seeing a Grimstroke get a dominating streak is great for Super, maybe not as great for Monet.
Yeah, I mean, he has 3 points of Inkstar now, though. He got the solo XP kill, solo XP from the kill on the Dazzle there as well. So, like, this level 3 Inkstar is going to be so strong on the Weaver in lane now.
So, Setsu. Let's see what he can get done. It feels like he is struggling a bit over mid. Despite being 39-9, now the slow comes in from X-Nova. Turns on Somnus for a second. Does get help from September. Second point into that Impetus has certainly been a bit of a difference maker.
I really think how maybe play the start of this lane has helped him no end to... like, the Ursa can't take off Flame Guard still, right? So... now he's gone for the 1-1-4 build, so he can just constantly run at the Ursa. So even though the Ursa wants to try and like constantly poke at him, whenever the Flame Guard's up, Setsu really struggles to ever get on top of him. Like you see now, he kind of wants to carry on poking him, but it's such a difficult thing for him to do.
September. Shadow Poison, and he is in trouble. Telekinesis, good job to get it down on the Somnus. Don't think it saves him, but I say that and the Stampede comes in. September still on the run. Will lose his career with a keen optic on it. And then Somnus, He dies to Setsu.
What?
He came back with that remnant over towards mid. Setsu locks him down and gets the kill. Well, it doesn't really lock him down. He just kills him straightforward. And now this is a problem bottom. This old 11, he's low. Try to survive as the Phantom Embrace comes out onto the Dazzle. They'll kill Super. The streak goes the way of X-Nova.
X-Nova's everywhere
Still trying
at the
to
moment.
run.
Jesus, I mean, X-Nova's like 2-0-3 on this Ench. Like, he's taken part in 5 of the 8 kills, which, considering how the side lanes went of them being so explosive at the start, is pretty impressive. He's just wandering around the map doing whatever he wants, because this Monkey King like doesn't need any help against the Centaur. But unfortunately for him, there is a wild bear coming towards the top lane, and Chalice might be in a little bit of trouble here. They don't have Stampede up, but there is an Orb of Venom on the Ursa.
Let's see if he comes away from that tower. Setsu is just laying in wait. And now he's just standing there. You're not invis anymore, Setsu.
He's just waiting for the creeps. It's fine. Chalice just
over farming here too.
Chalice is just fearless. Starts hitting the bear. Imagine hitting a bear with a long stick. Just.
They do tell you to just kind of lay down and crawl up into a ball, so it's a bit surprising.
Do they? I mean, we don't have bear classes here. We don't have bears, you see.
What do you think about America that we have bear classes?
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah,
is
bear
under
classes.
attack.
Welcome
escape
to
the
Bear
bears.
Class 101. This is your first lesson. If you see a brown bear or a bear up in the mountains, you're going to want to get in the fetal position and just hide.
See, I didn't know
Polar
that.
bears will kill you
Bot
too.
lane.
Yeah, Super ends up dead. X-Nova gets the kill onto the Scrimstroke. I mean, all bears, I think the only bears that, and this is my Joe Rogan podcast listening expertise coming out. I think he said brown bears are actually the ones who are least likely to attack you.
Top lane.
Radiant structure.
Yeah, Wukong
I'm gonna
came
keep-
out, but they didn't get anything out of that.
Sorry to interrupt your bear speech, Peacock.
I'm sorry I got into a bear speech.
This Ursus is going Mask of Madness first, by the way.
How do you feel about that? That is,
It's okay. I don't think it's awful. It helps him farm, which is really nice. That's the problem with Ursa, is if you go for like this Basher first or something, you're so reliant on just getting kills all the time. At least with the Mask of Madness, you can still farm at an okay pace. Allows you to stay on map all the time as well.
Structures are fortified.
Keen optic on September Rubik, by the way. He'd love in life.
yeah, he would have loved that earlier. His courier did die holding it before.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I love now that Jelly's global cast range, by the way. X-Nova just finds one and instantly gives it to his Monkey King and his Ember.
It feels so much better that way.
Yeah, it does.
Instead of sending it back, shipping it out, going to the, going from top lane to bottom lane. Like it.
Although, I
it's
don't
not
think
like a
Jelly needed a
timing or
buff.
anything.
That was the only thing.
I guess, but it's not like a timing really mattered with that if you could just give it up,
Comforting rune of regeneration.
Setsu popping that in rage.
He's going Vanguard, actually, I think, on Ember. Is he? Yeah. Okay. First time I've seen Vanguard Ember, but it makes this sense this game when you're playing against the Ursa Weaver. It's all physical damage, right?
Captured in the flame. Dark light.
Bottom? Super.
Oh, nice
there
sense
by
stop.
X-Nova, but here comes Setsu, trying to do enough damage to take out X-Nova and more. Flying low. September from behind, Fabled thrown forward. Now they look over the Dazzle. They get themselves a second. It's a double kill for Setsu, but Somnus, he's thinking about more. Oh, great. A stomp coming in from that Centaur, and now they get the kill on a Setsu. They look over at September. They'll buy back on the Ursa. That's a bit of a commitment. FY does have disruption, so is the buyback even going to be worth it? They get the kill on a September anyway. The Searing Chains is there. He'll pop the Enrage. They've got the Stroke of Fate. Can he get the kill on a FY? Inkslow started, and the damage is out to take away the life of the Shadow Demon.
Not really sure what the Ursa buyback was about there, but you know they get the FY kill, so at least they get something. I honestly thought they were going to disrupt and just be able to run away there. So, not too bad. This Ember's having such a good game though. Like he can kind of just do whatever he wants. Like they can't take off the Flame Guard in these early stages of the game, and he's now level 12 as well. And because he hasn't taken a second point in his ult, and he hasn't taken a point in his talent either. Like he has 3 points in Sight of Fist and 4 points in Chains. This guy's an absolute monster at this point in the game. Like, he's so far ahead in terms of what he can offer on the map at the moment in comparison to every other core.
So still, you know, just a 1,000 net worth lead for LGD. They're going to move over towards mid, set up a Searing Chains. By the way, Setsu committing that buyback. They kill him again. He's dead for a long time. It could really start to shut down his game.
Yeah, especially around the Roche pit as well. Like, when this hero is so reliant on hitting a good first Roche timing, if they kill him again before that, I think it's really going to hurt him.
Flywin trying to get something done. Soulbind placed on Somnus as well as the Venom's Embrace. Finally leashes him over to the Dazzle, but great balance strike on the 3. Now he time-lapse, goes the other way, but the disruption is there. They've got the Sentry Ward down. They've placed down another. They look over to kill off this Weaver, and they do. He doesn't have time-lapse as he used it earlier. Getting that kill, he's down for 30 seconds.
Oh, B-Cup, it's 15 minutes and there's 10 heroes in the mid lane. Like, this is what we missed last game. This is exactly what we wanted. It's just this high-tempo Dota from LGD, where they constantly run at you, they don't make you feel safe, and they're going again.
Yeah, they were looking for Setsu, and they know he bought back. They know killing him really could just turn off his game. They're already feeling like they are ahead. They go after Flywin, they'll chase him down. The impetus shot's coming through. Somnus trying to use the Searing Chains. It doesn't lock him up, but they'll get the kill anyway. So, another kill there for LGD. 15-9, and starting to break open that net worth lead.
One thing I didn't talk about with this Dazzle pick, by the way, and I've just thought about, is that it enables what they want to do so much this game, right? Like, they want to play aggressive, they want to play in the front foot, but the constant heal spam from the Dazzle is just going to keep them sustained throughout the whole time, right? So, like, they can play really aggressive now constantly because they know they have this, like, more defensive hero sat behind them and just constantly, like, topping them up the whole time.
Telekinesis. Chalice? He's going to go after September. He's got the balance strike, and now he'll try to TP out. But Telekinesis on cooldown. The damage was almost there.
Oh my goodness.
He still almost died.
Love a good TP like that. And Somnus is...
Old 11.
Somnus is going Vanguard Radiance, dude.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier, and you saw that he was building the Vanguard, now he's going into the Radiance.
Love it.
Might even be Ags afterwards, right?
Yeah, I think it'll either be Ags or Shivas, I assume, afterwards.
Uh-oh. September caught out. Tree dancing, but there's only allowed to be one Monkey King in the game.
Dire's structures are fortified.
To be fair, that skill feels really good as a steal for Rubik, because you can just scout around the map, you know, gain loads of information. They're going mid though on Setsu.
Again, yeah, he's got enraged, so at some point he's going to want to try and make his way out, but he's going to commit as he feels like he's already too low. The disruption comes in, they've got the Searing Chains, they get the kill on a Setsu, and he really doesn't do anything with that enrage or anything with that life.
Those chains
he's dead for 65 seconds.
Those chains from Ember hit just before the Earth Shock from the Ursa as well to make him try and bounce up to the cliff. So really well played by Maybe.
This is LGD continuing to extend that lead 17-9. Monkey King, he's got that Echo Saber going into a Basher. You've got the Vanguard, almost enough for the Sacred Relic on this Ember. And so Remnant forward, he looks for September, who's got the Remnant. Try to leave, but he can't. Searing Chains and Old 11's there to help out. He's got level 2 available in the Bad Juju. They do get the kill on the Chalice, which is a big kill over towards top, but Super gets credit for it. Monet helps him out. Monet, he's top of the net worth, but for the Radiant. And what's he getting shipped out to him right now? He's getting the Desolator shipped out. Is that even enough?
Middle tower is under attack.
It's okay.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I'm unsure if it's going to be enough. Like Ember's item build this game has really helped him. Like just to be able to play aggressive on the map all the time, constantly. Like this Vanguard, they can't 100 to 0 him because of it, and they have the defensive save from the Shadow Demon and the Dazzle as well. So it's like really difficult for the Radiant side, if LGD are grouped up together, for them to ever like bring somebody down quickly, right? And there's an Essence Ring now on the Dazzle as well, which is like a perfect item for him. I do like that RNG are constantly just going for Chalice though. And X-Nova might be in trouble now too. Well, I say that.
Monet up top, he goes into the Chikuchi and is able to run away. There were 3 heroes around him. They almost tried to get the commitment out and get that kill onto the Weaver, but once he got into the Chikuchi and got enough distance, he was far enough away.
Necro 3 on the Dazzle, by the way, as well. Interesting one.
Which is interesting because from what I've seen the Dazzles do previously, and you know, obviously no build is the only one you can go to, is been the Necro one into, you know, other things like a Solar Crest first.
Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, by the way, these Ursa talents at level 10 I feel so sad now, because he used to get 2 mana regen. Oh,
September ends up going down, and he ends up taking the 175 health, and I mean, his 20 seconds Fury Swipe reset time even worth it at level 10?
No, you take the 175 health, but the fact that the mana regen talent is now at level 15 feels awful on this hero. Like, so the fact that he has Essence Ring is such a lifesaver for him. Which I think is another reason why he's built treads on the Ursa now. Because it means he can tread switch between using spells and just attacking normally. Whereas I think you would have seen phase nearly all the time before, right? On Ursa.
Well, there was a point in time where Ursa was just going phase Abyssal.
Yeah. But you want the phase, right? Because you want the catch potential, but... Yeah, and this is the thing that I was talking about with the Ursa. Like, he really wants the first Roche, but... Because he had such a sad game, like, the Dire and this Ember especially have been all over the place, and they've just controlled this part of the map the whole time. The Chalice is in a bit of trouble, by the way. Oh, I say that. It wasn't him that was in trouble.
It's Monet, who ends up going down to Chalice.
I just assume, after how this game's gone for Chalice so far, that he's always constantly getting ganked in the top lane, but it was a bait. He's learned. Oh, bot lane, FY.
Up stomp again. FY in trouble. Flywind's got the Ink Swell on, but they have the telekinesis. They'll grab the kill there onto the Shadow Demon. However, Flywind now needs to start to run. Soulbind placed in, but Balanced Strike, and it hits both of them. They get the kill on a Super as well as Flywind. They'll take out 2. Chalice with a double kill. He also just got a kill on the Weaver top, so 3 kills there for the Monkey King.
He's actually got Bash's second item as well. So
September. Jesus. He is running down everybody.
And the best part about this Abyssal on Monkey King is that he's going to have a Vanguard component as well. So all this physical damage on the Radiant side that they've gone for, like, it's just not going to do anything to either of the cores.
Slight Searing Chains. Now the Deso damage from the Weaver. Not going to be enough to get the kill there on a old 11. He's forced to time-lapse immediately.
He's not an easy kill. He has this medallion for extra armor as well. And he's going a mech next as well, so... Well, he's got the mech coming out of the courier.
Monet doesn't feel like he does enough. Like, they've got the save from the Shadow Demon. They have a Shallow Grave. They have the heals. They have the minus armor. Like, there's so much here that just kind of nullifies what RNG are bringing to the table at the moment.
Well, the problem is...
Monet.
Oh.
Doesn't have time lapse for 23 more seconds,
King's
so
coming over
they're going to be forced to rotate. Blank for the hoof stomp. Instead, we'll go to the Stampede. He holds the hoof stomp. Finally throws it down to the Dazzle, but the Chalice. Monkey King comes in, gets the Balance Strike down onto 2, as well as the Wukong's command in. Flywind will end up dead. Monet, nothing he can do to save his Centaur. And Ursa thinks about going through. Balance Strike thrown from the Rubik. They've got the Shallow Grave, so X-Nova will survive. They look over at Setsu to get the kill. They've got the Basher. They'll bash him up. And now, can he turn it? Can he survive? No, he can't. They get the kill on the Setsu as well as September. And LGD are rolling through this RNG side in game 2. They remnant forward from Somnus. Balance Strike once again. That hits on a Super. He'll leech them together with the Soulbind, but it doesn't matter as there's nobody there to take advantage of it.
Where was this LGD last game? Like, it's like watching a completely different team. In the last game, it was more like
hoping for the black hole and waiting on the big cooldowns and waiting for the BKB. This game, it's just run at you, and we've got low cooldown stuff. We'll just keep coming your way.
X-Nova's just fake pumping the stun on a Centaur while they push a tower. Looks like they're just having a good time now, you know? They're just enjoying themselves.
Their longest cooldown right now is Wukong's commanded 110 seconds, now 90 seconds as he hits level 18. So
yeah,
not terrible.
How much longer do they have the Aegis? It's like just over a minute or so. So they're going to try and put as much pressure on the map as they can in that meantime. But I think they just wait for the second Roche before they attempt any kind of like high ground push. Well, unless they like win a fight straight up. But you can see how confident they feel because FY has a gem now as well. So like they're literally just trying to take over the map, you know, piece by piece. And if this Weaver and Ursa don't see anybody on the map, they have to play so scared the whole time. Oh, Weaver.
Yeah, he's in trouble in time lapse, but FY is there and ready. Gets the demonic purge out, and Monet now trying to run. Can he get himself far enough out? No, he can't. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, and FY will get credit for the kill on Monet. They also they killed Chalice over towards top, so at least they get that.
This is what I mean. Like, RNG are not doing massively well this game, but they always manage to find Chalice somehow. In both these games that we've seen them play so far.
He's been killed off twice recently and twice overall. Still enough deaths, though, for chat to say he's not a carry player, even though they're up 9,000 net worth in the second game.
Smart. Chat's never wrong. That's what you have to understand.
I've heard that. I've heard that. Sign
he just
now
goes down.
Forward, Soulbind. And, well, they've got the Ember lifted up. Good telekinesis to slam him down on the two of these heroes. He'll bind up to X-Nova, but they just don't have the damage to follow it up. They'll get the kill on the Flywind as well as Setsu. Setsu dead for 50 seconds. He has buyback, but Flywind does not. So at least this tier 3 tower bottom will go down.
And this is a 4 versus 5, remember, as well. Like, this is without the Monkey King for LGD, and they still just look like they're going to run over them. X-Nova's in trouble.
Remnant forward. Shallow Grave easily put onto this Enchantress to keep him alive. Inkswell now onto the Weaver. Monet, though, he just ends up dead, and, well, they'll take the life of September, too, so they'll call GG, and we're going to a game 3. Down goes Super, and they're looking for the Ember at least before this Ancient explodes. They won't get it.
Actually, I think maybe played insanely well on the Ember this game, and I actually thought X-Nova had a really quality game as well on the Enchantress. It felt like the early game was completely dictated by this Enchantress moving around the map and making things happen and like linking up with this Ember in the mid lane. Because do you remember Ursa hit level 6 and they still managed to kill him with a rotation, which is, you know, really impressive. I don't know what LGD said in between game 1 and game 2, but it definitely works. And this Dazzle pick worked insanely well for them, just allowing them to play the tempo of the game that they wanted. You know, majorly impressed. I like that RNG, they tried to, you know, get whatever they could on the map. You know, they killed Chalice a couple of times to just try and, you know, slow his game down because they couldn't fight into the Ember. Like, he was just far too strong. With this Ember Vanguard, like, he wasn't dying. But they first faced this Centaur Rubik, which is really strong. But LGD picked 3 cores that can do okay against Centaur in the lane. I mean, Monkey King, like, Enchant just completely take that lane apart. Because if he ever pops the Retaliate